A few moments later.
Yeah, that shouldn't be there. And yeah, that definitely shouldn't go there. That should be on top of that. Ah, fuck me, I have a lot of work to do.
Hi everyone, Farming Economist here. I've been meaning to make this video for a bit of time talking about my experience owning and using a portable sawmill. I bought this sawmill down in Sydney around late 2019, you know, when that whole thing happened, yes, that you can't really mention on YouTube. Anyway, at that time, you had the option to take out quite a bit of your superannuation money, I think around 10 grand. And I thought, well, this is a great opportunity for me to start my own business and have something real, like a real asset. And with everything going on, you know, you're never 100% sure, especially, well, for me, it was more of a big investment, but I'm quite happy with it. As you can see, it's a GT34 mill, and while it has a lot of great features, it's definitely more for me like a good beginner kind of mill. And if I had the money, I would have bought maybe a better mill like a Norwood or Woodland Mills. So you know, if you're more like a small property owner or just want to start small in milling, I'll probably go with something like here. But no, it's a very straightforward mill, and as you can see, I had a major problem when the whole frame tipped over. That was mainly my misjudgment. The pulley there came out, and I had the mill up too high. I had fixed it before, and the whole thing tipped over. That was a major setback. Also, I got stuck into some really not good quality logs that had been out in the dirt for too long, and though I tried to brush them off to clean them, I quickly learned that without a sharp blade, you can't do anything. All my blades are dull now, so I need to go get them professionally sharpened, or get up to the point where I can sharpen them myself and everything. But if there's one thing you take out of this video in the actual skill of milling, it's to have sharp, reliable blades, and especially with the kind of wood that we do here, that would definitely be the tungsten tip blades. And with them, you gotta keep them cool. I went out with a guy to do quite a big milling job. That was quite good. He owned a Norwood mill, and the trick there was to absolutely blast the piece with cold water, just, you know, gravity fed. But you keep that metal nice and cool, and keep it clean. And I'm sure you can sharpen the bimetal more. The mill came with a sharpening jig, and I played around with it a bit. The guy made it look so easy there, and I'm sure, like, with practice. It's the same thing with the chainsaw. When I moved here, I couldn't, for the life of me, I bought maybe 5 sharpening jigs for a chainsaw, whatnot. But now I just use a hand file, and after working in a tree lopping job for about a year now, I feel like I still make mistakes, but on a good day I can really sharpen blindfolded. So it's all about practice, getting your right tension, make sure you take the tension off, get your piece ready. A really good important thing I learned is quarter sawing. I thought that no matter what kind of log you had to put the whole block on, square it, the whole log rather, square it, and then get your pieces. But what you can do is actually cut the log into quarters, and I may have to do more because this is all manual and I couldn't flip the last one. And from there you can get more quarter sawn timber, but actually getting precise cuts is still quite challenging for me. But I know that if I had more sharp blades, which I'll definitely need to buy much more of, then they're more forgiving. And of course I cut into my metal stops, I think twice. One time I nicked it, one time I cut right through it, and doesn't matter what they are, that will ruin and dull them completely. So that was quite a shame, but I'm planning to go see a professional sharpener, or I'll buy my own jig, and I'll see you there. Yes, well, if you've been following what's happening with building supplies, especially at the time of making this video, we just had what will be called the 2022 floods and everything, and Lismore was completely decimated, unfortunately. And this is on top of all the inflation that we're already seeing, and that was already being produced from people trying to put all their money into housing. So the price of materials is going to go up even more now, especially timber. However, the reliability of the energy to do this extremely capital intensive process may actually get more difficult to do. So maybe even small scale people like myself, obviously doing more like a kind of like a niche product, maybe like furniture grade hardwood lumber. I've been following a guy called Rowan Reed. I recently bought his book called Hardwood, and really wonderful book, and he really outlines his story in individual trees. I really recommend it. But yes, yeah, just seeing how I could get a start in the agroforestry or timber industry. And I'm starting a job at a mill soon, just doing firewood, but you gotta start somewhere. And yes, yeah, and hopefully I can make quite a good living out of that in time. But yes, like anything, it just needs practice. What I do like about this mill is that there's a lot of room for modifications and upgrades. I would definitely want to lock the milling. Well, especially after what happened, you can't blame me. But lock in the milling frame properly, just to make it more smooth to push. I wouldn't even worry about adding hydraulics to flip the log underneath would be good, but in terms of actually moving the mill, you feel the cut when you're pushing, and you need to be consistent with that. It's all about being consistent. But I'm working on a big spotted gum that fell over in the storm last year. I've quartered that. I've cut it. I've quartered it. There's a lot of wood there, which I really need to get moving before it'll start cracking anymore. And bit by bit, I'm breaking it down. But again, you need sharp blades. Anyway, that's my recount on it. If you're after like a good beginner mill, and it's a wonderful hobby, it's so rewarding to turn like an entire tree and to be able to break it down. I'm not at a professional level at all, but maybe one day. So thank you for listening. Farming Economist here, and I hope you have a good day. Take care.